There's a beautiful quote by Kimberly Johnston, who wrote The Fourth Trimester, and she says, "When a mother has a child, it is time for the mother to be mothered." When I speak today, I will speak from a Black woman's perspective, but I am including all birthing people. And we are not just one story. So many of these different people that have had children, their experiences are not the same, and they need to be recognized as individual things so that we can find real solutions for individual people. My journey began with a learning project in 2015 where I began to work with early childhood educators. I was completely concerned with their mental health. I had a high turnover rate. I did not understand why we could not retain early childhood educators. What had come to my attention is that many of them were actually dealing with postpartum depression. They were dealing with loss. They were dealing with all of these different things. But how could they show up to work every day and work with children and families, and we're petitioning like crazy, but we are not recognizing the people? This brought an awakening for me. I had been dealing with infertility for over 7 years, been pushed aside, not listened to, had 2 miscarriages, and the only solution that my doctor gave me, well, this is just sometimes how it is. Like, maybe you can go just adopt a kid, you can pick one. How dare you? These are human beings. Why would you not ask me to go inward and heal? Healing was never an option for me. So as of today, the Learning Project Network, our motto first is healing first. We have got to start looking at people and understanding as we go out into the community and we do this activism work, if we don't do the healing first, we will cause harm to the people that we are so passionate about. So where do we go from here? Why am I talking about Black maternal health? Not only because of my own personal experience, but I didn't understand that it was my right to heal. I didn't understand it was my right to be supported. I didn't understand that it was my right to say yes or no. In many Black spaces, Black women are still dealing with understanding what is your right with your body. We cannot neglect history. From wet nurses, from people that received surgeries and got a full hysterectomy. These things aren't of the past, they're still happening today. So what are we going to do about it? That is where this movement came in. I decided to make the first Black Maternal Health Week in Spokane, even though it had been going around in so many cities. This image right here is in honor of my ancestors. Many of you may not even know their names, Betsy, Anarka, and Lucy. In this art exhibit, we asked people from all over the country to submit images of their birthing experiences because people were not listening to when I was saying how Black women were being treated into the hospitals, how they were being treated by health providers. I said, if you don't want to listen to me, then you will look into my face and my sisters' faces and you will ignore them. You will see them for the very first time and you will hear their stories for the very first time. And if you walk away and do nothing about it, then we will come for you. We will talk about what is happening to things that you're doing to people and not giving us the opportunity to speak our truth. Betsy, Anarka, and Lucy, these were 3 Black slaves. They are called the mothers of gynecology. They were under the butcher of gynecology, who was Dr. Sims. These 3 Black women were slaves from 3 different plantations. They were operated without anesthesia for over 5 years. His practices were so inhumane, he could not even keep an assistant. After he, quote unquote, healed them, he sent them back to their slave owners, took his stuff, moved up north, and showed what he had learned because he, quote unquote, healed them. He understood what compassion, respect was because he used the image of a white woman where she was held by a nurse, covered her body with respect, and he had sterile instruments right below in this image. Look it up. I'm giving you the very fast version of this. This story began my work because this is still happening. Black women are not seen as humans. They are not being listened to. They are being overlooked, and they are suffering in silence. So when people walk into this Black maternal art exhibit, for some people who work in these spaces, this is the very first time that they have ever seen a Black woman naked, in power, in her full self, or their full self. We took these images and we started using them as healing spaces. People would come out and they would see these images and cry and weep and said, I just needed help. No one would help me. These healing spaces spoke volumes to so many people, and that's what we want to continue to do. We want people to understand that when you choose or not choose to have a child, you do have support. We started an organization called the Shades of Motherhood Network, where we are focusing on doulas and also different types of supportive care. In Spokane, now look, I know we get a bad rap about not having no diversity, but we some badasses out there, okay? We're not taking nothing, okay? We have to make something out of nothing. And when no one shows up, you know what? All of us got to show up. So I expect Seattle to come start showing up in Spokane too. So when we look at the Shades of Motherhood Network, we are talking about different types of doulas. There are 7 different types of doulas, including an abortion doula. When we talk about abortion, sometimes we're only talking about it through one lens, which is terminating the pregnancy. But we are talking about how do we heal you through that journey? How do we nurture you through that journey? For some people, they can never tell this story, but who can be there right beside them, carrying that weight with them? These are the things that we need to make breakthroughs on. Doulas are a solution, but we've got to get them in a place where they understand how to center their healing and how do they center other people's experiences and help them and not navigate them through different resources. There's so much work to be done. We ask you today to get that work done. Be supportive to one another. Work on your own healing journey. And when you look at an image like this, remember that age may be done, but the trauma is still here. That's the thing about healing. Some of us are carrying great weight and great and heavy stories. And we're doing this alone. We're walking this journey alone. You do not have to do that. Support is the new superpower. So let's exercise it and make the choice to make change. Thank you.